Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a pretty powerful speech delivered by Charlie Kirk. Our goal here is to really map out his argument, piece by piece, so you can see exactly how it's constructed, from its core foundation all the way to its final call to action.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to trace the path of this speech. We'll start with the source of authority it sets up. Then we'll dig into the core message, look at the historical examples used to support it, see how it's meant to be applied in the real world, and finally, we'll unpack the big theological promise that ties it all together.
So, the entire argument kicks off by setting up a foundational authority. Right from the get-go, it frames life as a choice between two very different kinds of manuals for how to figure things out. The speech opens with this really central question. The idea proposed is that everybody, whether they realize it or not, is following some kind of guide or instruction manual for their life's decisions. Now, this right here is a really key moment in the argument. It sets up this very clear dichotomy, a stark choice. On one side, you've got your gut feelings, your common sense, or maybe what your parents taught you. But on the other side, the Bible is presented as the ultimate source code, a Christian inheritance that definitively spells out what is right and what is wrong. To build on that, the speech then positions the Bible as this super comprehensive guide. The argument is that this single source holds the definitive answers to pretty much all of life's biggest questions. You know, the heavy stuff like, why are we here? What's good or evil? And what happens when we die? And that brings us to the central theme, the absolute anchor for the rest of the speech. It all boils down to a single repeated phrase, here I am. The argument here is that this isn't just some passive statement you might make. It's actually defined as a posture of total willingness. It's a deep commitment to action and a readiness to be used for a divine purpose. You could say it's framed as the ultimate declaration of availability. And this quote just crystallizes that core request perfectly. It's presented as a complete surrender of your own personal will, basically a plea to become an instrument for a higher purpose.
So, to give this idea some real weight and historical muscle, the speech then points to 6 very specific examples from the Bible. Each one is used to demonstrate a different facet of what it means to answer this call.
As you can see here, each of these biblical figures is used to illustrate a specific kind of call. Abraham's story, that's framed as the absolute ultimate test of faith. Jacob's story is presented as a call to build something new. Moses represents the need to leave comfort behind for a greater mission. Samuel is used to show that age is no barrier. Isaiah embodies a prophetic call, and Ananias, well, he sets up this idea of direct confrontation.
Okay, so what does all this mean for us today? According to the speech, answering "Here I am" requires 2 key things, and neither one is easy. First, using that story of Moses, the speech argues that this call will almost certainly demand that you leave a state of personal comfort. Moses is portrayed as a guy who really had it all, a great job, family, social standing, but he was called to ditch his cushy job for a mission that was anything but comfortable. And this quote from the speech just lays it all out there, doesn't it? It makes the point so directly. The argument being presented is that a life of true faith is, by its very nature, supposed to be uncomfortable. Now for the second application, which is drawn from the story of Ananias, this one is a call to direct confrontation. The idea is that this isn't just about an internal personal struggle, it's a duty to externally confront things that are perceived as wrong, whether that's a professor, a neighbor, or even figures within the church.
So, after laying out this really demanding call to action, to leave your comfort zone and confront things, how does the speech bring it all home? Well, this final section offers a theological promise that really serves as the foundation for the entire argument.
The concept of the gospel is broken down into this really memorable, shrinking sequence. It's like a countdown. It starts with a simple 4-word sentence, then 3, then 2, until the entire massive idea is distilled into one single powerful word.
And that one word is grace. In the speech, grace is positioned as the ultimate promise, the ultimate outcome. And the key point made here is that this is a gift. It's something that cannot be earned. It's not a reward for being a good person or for taking on those uncomfortable tasks. It's framed as something to be freely received. So when we step back and deconstruct the whole speech, you can see a very deliberate rhetorical structure. It starts with a foundational authority, the Bible. It issues a clear call to action, here I am. It validates that call with historical models, applies it to modern life through the lenses of discomfort and confrontation, and then finally it offers the promise of unearned grace as the outcome. The entire argument is built to frame saying, here I am, as life's most critical decision.